All right. Welcome, everybody. Happy Friday. What is today? February 3rd. I missed celebrating Groundhog Day by watching Groundhog Day. But today, we are going to, we're going to be talking about Tengwar. It's this thing over here. This is the Elvish writing system. It'll look familiar to you if you saw the ring rhyme or something like that. So we're going to be looking into just kind of a quick sample of how to write in Elvish. Why? Very simple, because it's a lot of fun. This is one of the, I don't know about one of the first things, but it's one of the early things I did when I was a teenager. I think I was 19 when I started kind of looking into transliterating, not translating, but kind of writing English with Tengwar. It's just a lot of fun. What we're not going to do today is actually translate Elvish. That does have its own fun, its own charm, but that's not our purpose today. I think this is actually more fun, just using the alphabet in your own language. And frankly, I think Tolkien would probably agree with me. There's this clip that you can find online of him. I need to turn on a light or something, don't I? There's this clip you can find of him talking about how he doesn't like the idea of the Elvish language or languages being used for people getting together and on a Sunday afternoon and speaking Elvish to each other. He's like, that would be ridiculous. There's no point in that. But as we know, he had his own fun with creating the language and creating the alphabet. And so we can dip our toes into that safely a little bit, I think. Oh, excuse me. All right, let's get a light. Okay. Maybe that'll... See, now we're going for dramatic lighting. All right. Groundhog Day would be a fun watch along. It is, in my always humble opinion, the greatest film ever made. And I'm not being sarcastic. I believe Groundhog Day is, at the very least, a contender for the best film of all time. So I would love it. Hilo, whatever. Ice in Memphis. I bet that's not totally. Is that normal? Do you get a lot of snow in Memphis? I'm not sure. Let's see. Interesting opinion. That's fine. But watch it again with a philosophical eye. Turn on your comedy brain and your philosophy brain at the same time, and that movie is dense. It is packed. Oh, okay, yeah. Here's me, the non-Spanish speaker. I know a few words. Ice is not one of them. So okay, let's do a little bit. What we're gonna do is I thought it might be fun to kind of take a look at this page right here. In fact, yeah, I can blow it up a little bit more. We can take a look at this page here for here are your consonants and then the vowels down here. And we should be able to use this to. I thought it would be fun to do maybe some people's names. So if you want me to do your name, let me know. If you do one of those super chat things, kick a buck in the tip jar or something, then we'll definitely do your name. But we're going to do this by using Illustrator here to write it out. So it should be fun. In fact, I'm going to start by pulling up The Lord of the Rings Chapter 2. And one of my new favorite editions of The Lord of the Rings, by the way, here, I'll pull myself or blow myself up again a little bit. This one right here, the one with the Elvish on the spine. Oh, in fact, yeah, I could just look at that, couldn't I? But in Chapter 2, it's they've got the section with the ring rhyme. And so I'll give you just a little bit of an idea of what we're doing here. And then maybe we'll do some people's names and have some fun with it that way. But let's see. Before, all right, write StarCraft out. Yeah, I always have StarCraft open. It's one of those things. I've been playing StarCraft literally since 1998. And so it's just, it's like, oh, I need a 10-minute break. Open up StarCraft, play for 10 minutes. So, oh boy. All right, Linnea's in with a buck. So we're definitely gonna get to Linnea's name. That's whoo. You're gonna have to phonetically let me know how that's actually pronounced. So I can look it up, but that'd be great if you let me know how that's pronounced. Let's start with just like the first line of the ring rhyme or something, and or maybe just the first few words or something. Okay, so we're not going to worry about this, but if you look at the ring rhyme, oh here, let me blow that up a little more. Well, we're not going to worry about this, but if you look at the ring rhyme, there are these two little marks before anything starts. That's actually punctuation. There's punctuation before and after a sentence, kind of like in Spanish. We're not going to worry about that. We'll just start in with the actual word or words. We'll start here. And if you look, okay, so it starts like this. All right, whoops. Let's do that one a little better so you can actually see. Okay, what does this mean? All right, so now we pull up our alphabet here. Okay, now the ring rhyme, if you've memorized it, you might know it goes Ash, Naz, Dur, Batuluk. Okay, so Ash, here's the way it works. We've got, in fact, you know what? Let's just go ahead and put that there and this here. Okay, so Ash, we've got these three marks up here. In fact, oops. Let's make that one a little bigger. And these a little smaller so it's clearer. Okay, so we're looking for our vowel sound, the SH. Shh, where's our, there it is right there. Okay, so here's our SH sound. This little tail right here is just a calligraphic mark. That's just a flourish. What really matters is, oh, whoops, I even connected it. I did it wrong, so we're just gonna go back. Okay, so we're gonna create this mark right here, and that's our SH sound. Okay, so that's what we've got here. And then in Elvish, we need the ah sound, and you'll see it looks like a little line right here. Okay, so that does matter, and it can be used, but typically the vowel will simply go over the, it'll go over the next consonant sound. And so Ash. So here's our SH. We need the ah sound. Here, in fact, we can do 1, 2, 3. Okay, so that's Ash. And then Nazg, we need the N sound. So we're gonna let's see. Well, let's find our N here. Where do they have it listed? Right here. Okay. So we need this, and that's N. And then we need a Z and a G. Ash Nazg. So we need a Z, and I remembered off the top of my head. I'm just trying to find it on here, see if I can find it. There it is. There's our Z. So we're going to come down and create that. So Tolkien loved, when he was doing this in calligraphic format, he loved kind of those big, long flourishes. That's why he added this extra one on the Ash. All right, and so now, like I said, the vowels go over the next consonant sound. So if we're going to do Nazg, this is our N right here, and then this is our Z, but we need an A before that, so we'll do an A above that, and then our G sound is going to be, where is G? Oh, there it is, right there. Okay, so you can see it right there. So create a little thing like this. That kind of looks like a G, actually. Okay, so there's Ashnazg. That's one ring. Okay, so all right. I am easily bought. I am a content creating internet whore. That's my job. There you go. Totally knew it started with us. Yeah. Okay, so should we do some names? Let's just leave the ring rhyme there. We could do the rest of the line, but we'll just leave it there. Okay, let's do Linnea's name. Let's see, is this my select tool? Let's get rid of that. Okay. All right, let's do Linnea's name. So the first thing we're going to do is look for, we're going to look for the consonant sounds. Okay, in fact, let's pull this over as far as we reasonably can. Make this as, yeah, we'll make that pretty small. We'll make that pretty large. Okay. All right, let's do Linnea. Where's our L? Oh, and of course, your name starts with an L, the trickiest one. So let's see. All right, so our L is right here. In fact, I can blow this up a little bit. Oh, nope, I can't because that's an image, so they won't let me. Okay, well, we'll do the best we can. All right, here's our L, so we're going to start with that one. All right, simple enough. Uh-oh, somebody's calling me, and I don't care to answer. It's probably spam. When was the last time anybody here got a phone call that wasn't spam? I'm the guy who will call people. I will actually make phone calls, but people seem to hate it. Okay. I must have practiced calligraphy. I'm good at it. I you know, when I was a kid, my mom used to have us do a little bit of calligraphy, not much, but I retained a little bit of it. That wasn't, gosh, that was back when I was like 10. She'd have us do a little bit of calligraphy. All right, so we're just going for the consonants right now. Okay. So we want an N sound, and we're not going to worry about any long N's or anything like that. So let's find our N, which should be up toward the top. Here we go. So you'll notice N and M look very similar. It's just the M has a line right underneath. We just need to leave that off for our N. Okay, so for an N, we'll calligraphize this in a bit, but we're going to start with this. And do a double loop. That's our N, okay? And then we don't have, all right. We don't have any more consonants after that, Linnea. All right, so there's our L and our N, but we need an I sound, a short I and I sound before the N. All right, so we're gonna come down here and look for, there's our short I. Oh no, sorry, that's our E sound. Yeah, they didn't really have a short I in Elvish, so we're gonna use this and do the best we can with it. And yep, it's just a single dot above that. Okay, so we'll give that a single dot above that. Now, what do we do if we have vowel sounds ending a word so we don't have any consonants to put them before? Well, we're gonna use just what they have right here. Okay, so we're gonna do A. And then I think we'll just use ah. Linnea would be, I think, roughly how that would go. We could use this, I suppose. Yeah, we could use that as a diphthong for ea. Yeah, let's do that. Okay. Now, strictly speaking, I don't have to connect these, okay? And I never had to connect that. So we could just do this right there. So there's Linnea. Now, if we want to calligraphize it, because that's totally a word. This doesn't help me. Okay, we'll come back to that. Okay, so yeah, we want to do a little calligraphy version of this. So we're just gonna kind of make that a little more stylized, right? That line. Now, I'm gonna start with no, I'm not. I'm gonna start back here. We're gonna do the same thing. The way Tolkien did his calligraphy was kind of just to loop this, and bring it up, and then build our N off of that. And then I think we can just do the same thing there and tie that over. We'll do our dot, we'll do our line, and that's Linnea. So there you go. All right. And it's not that much different. If you know what, if we wanted to decalligraphize this, it's also, I think, a valuable thing to learn how to do, right? You don't have to write in cursive, right? So If we're doing our L, we just do this. And then I can't do it without the curves. I should try. Okay, there you go. There's the non-calligraphy version of it. All right. Okay, I'm gonna look up how to pronounce your name. I don't know how to pronounce it. Here we go.
AOWS.
AOWS. It's like I went to a pronunciation website and it's like, yeah, just say the letters. So I can't pretend your name, or I can't pretend to know how to pronounce your name. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, so you know what? I probably should have put something up at the top, so that people know what we're spelling here. There, that's Linnea. We'll work on that. Craig's Art Corner. That's absolutely right. So let's do. What do you say we do? So tell me how to actually pronounce it, and because I don't want to mess it up, and I will do it. But for now, let's move on. Let's do Josh. I think we need to do your name, and I think Panda would be fun too. Let's start with Josh. Okay. All right. So, oops. Let's do paintbrush. Okay. So let's do. Oh, that's the wrong tool. Oh well. Okay, so let's do Josh. All right, where's our... Wait, do we have... Yeah, let's see if we can figure out exactly the best way to do Josh. Our vowel sound is going to be easy. The SH we know. I'm just looking to see if they do have a J listed. I'm just trying to... Yeah, okay, that is our hard J sound. Okay, so let's use that. All right. Josh. Should we do Joshua? No, let's start with just Josh and see how that goes. Okay. So we're going to do one of these. Oops, we got to connect that. Okay. And then our SH sound, which we already learned over here. And we're going to make it. Okay. So it's J-O-S-H. We just need the O sound, which we found down here. And so we're going to, add that right on top. So that is literally Josh in Elvish. Very, very simple. So let's calligraphize it. I mean, as best I can with a mouse. This is really tough with a mouse, you guys, if I'm being honest. Okay, well, yeah, there's really not much. I just needed to add that connector. There's not much we can do with that. But if we added the UA, Joshua, I don't even know, sometimes people don't use, or like the what you think is the nickname is actually just the name. So this one's going to come back for our U sound, or our sound, and then Joshua. Well, there's no schwa, so there's no sound that I can think of in Elvish, so we're just going to use and there you go. There's Joshua. Thanks. Exactly like house, but the H is silent. Okay, perfect. Okay, I can work with that. That is really interesting, though. Okay, all right, that should be fun. Yeah, mouse skills. You rarely go by it. Depends on, yeah. If you were to ever use this, like, who was it? Was it? Oh gosh, I was just talking to him on Discord. Was it Jeff? Yeah, Jeff Dugan. I did a translation for his wedding ring, but it needed to be super short. So, like if you needed something super short, then you just do Josh. But you can add a little flourish on there if you want to. Okay. That. What's my shortcut for the paintbrush tool? B. There. That'll help me. Okay. Let's go with aus first. All right. So A O yeah, sure. That's a letter. W S. All right. So pronounced just like house without the H. All right. So we're gonna go. We need our S sound. Should be a pretty simple one. Well, actually, no. S is not super simple. Where did you go? Where did you go? There it is. Okay. The S. Oh, this is a weird one. Okay. So there's our S sound, but now we need the ow. Ow, ow. We can use this one right here. Okay. So we're going to go, yeah, let's just go ahead and stylize it from the start. No, we're not going to do that. Because I'm going to try to consider how I might connect those, but I'm not sure we need to. There you go. Aus. Hey. Yeah, Linnea says that because she has an Elvish tattoo, which is so awesome. Okay. Well, there you go. So yeah, it's maybe I should do my own name just for fun. Oops. Okay. All right. So we'll do the best we can with this. Now let's see. The C is just going to be basically a K. So we're kind of looking for a K. C or K. There we go. All right. So we've got that sound. Oops. Let's put our tail on there. Okay. Literally. Now the R. The R is tricky, and they actually this page gives you some helpful hints here, some notes. The first R is used before vowels, while the second R is used before consonants and at the end of words. Okay, so we're looking for the first R that they list, and it is confusing. If you go into Appendix E, where Tolkien's got his notes on writing, it's not super clear. And so I'm glad that they put that note in there for us. This is a good site, by the way, omniglot.com. This is a nice. Let's see, where's our R's? Okay, so there's one R. They said that was the first one. There's a second one on here. There should be, because I know. Oh gosh, where did they put the other one? Have I gone crazy? I've gone crazy. I've gone completely nuts. Okay, well, we're just going to use that one because that is the one we're looking for. But I'm trying to figure out where they put the other one. Oh, well. Oh, there it is. Yeah, this is our oh, wait, let's see. Maybe this. No. Is this the one we're looking for? This is the one we're looking for. Okay. Because we want the one that's right before a vowel, right? So they said the first R used before vowels. See R and then the A sound. So we're looking for this R right here. That's what I thought. Okay, now we need a G. The G we've already used. Sure. And then we just need, there's no soft E sound, but we can use A. So Craig, and that would be this one. Very, very simple. C-R. C-R. Yeah, we'll just put that right there. There you go. That's my name. Namarie. Nice. Very nice. Texas has a nice consonant vowel balance. Okay, all right. I'll bite. Texas. Let's do Texas. That's fun. All right, so one of the fun things, this is actually, like I said, I was 19 when I first kind of not came across this, but it was the first time I really dug into Appendix E. And one of the things that just lit up all the little pleasure centers in my brain was noticing the pattern of how he did these. I'm just going to take a little break and talk about this for a moment. All right. Rowan and Callie, you got it. Wow. Okay. That's super kind of you. But I'll do Texas first. Anyway, but yeah, I was gonna say finding the patterns in how he created the alphabet, and you can. I'm not going to get too far into this, but just notice that there are letters that kind of go together. So, for instance, P and B are very similar. So, if we pop in here, P looks like this, and B is the same thing with an extra loop on it. And so, what's the difference between P and B? The only difference between P and B verbally is that the B is voiced, meaning you begin speaking the word before you open your mouth, or you begin making the sound before you open your mouth. So P is P, and it is just an aspirated P, but a B uses your vocal cords, right? B. Okay, so that's the only difference. Now, if we look at a similar pair, something like T, and then what would its equivalent, or its voiced equivalent would be D. And so similarly, you've got D. And then you can get into, well, okay, so why does the B have a line and the D does not? Okay, so we're not going to get, like I said, super into it, but I love finding those little patterns, and it's a good way to help you remember. I mean, it's a good way for me to remember which letters are which and all that stuff. So, okay, let's do Texas Blade. All right. What about pronunciation? Is it the same? Not quite the same. No, it's if you speak a Romance language, the references you'd be looking for in pronunciation. I'm not talking about grammar. I'm not talking about any of the vocabulary or anything like that. But for pronunciation, think like Italian or Spanish. Italian is the one that I go to first. Basically, just the idea being with your vowel sounds, you want to go with those Romance languages as a general proposition. Okay, yes, there are exceptions to that, and somebody will come along later and yell at me about it. That's fine. All right, so let's do Texas. T, we're looking for our T. Oh yeah, well, that's right. We just had a T on there. Okay, so it looks like a P, but it's actually a T. All right, so there's our T. Now the X is gonna be weird, and there isn't. We're just gonna use two letters, okay? Because we don't have an X per se, but we can do the K and the S. Okay, so. All right, and then the S would be this guy right here. Texas. Oh, how weird. Okay. Yeah, I've never done this word before. So, and then our E sound, we're gonna go with the longer E. So Texas. There you go. Best I can do. Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's no single letter way to do X like we do in English. It's kind of a weird way to organize our own language. So anyway, so there you go. There's Texas. All right. Regretting letting us use names, request names? No, never. All right, let's do Rowan and Calla. Oops. Let's get rid of Texas. There's Texas. Okay, let's do Rowan first. All right. Now, let's go back to our R's you always want to double check until you're fluent. I'm not like fluent in all this stuff. You always want to double check. So the first R is used before vowels. The second R is used before consonants and at the end of words. Now, this R does come before a vowel, so we can use that first R right here. Okay. Oops. Let's do that one a little better. Now we need a. Ooh. Okay. W is tricky because W is. I mean, it's right here, but W is tricky because it's what we call a liquid consonant. No, sorry, that's L and R. This is oh shoot, what's the name of it? Somebody, another linguistics major, let me know. What's the word I'm looking for? It's essentially a diphthong. The W has no actual consonant. There's no like tongue movement that would make it a consonant, but it's still technically a consonant. It's a weird one, you guys. Okay, but W does have all right, just a simple, oops. You know what, let's do that a little better. Okay, well, it's not perfect, but it'll do. All right, now we're gonna do the N. Where's our N? It's right here. This one just looks like a, well, kind of looks like a double N there. All right, now we need our vowel sounds. So the R came first, and we need an O before the W. And so that's gonna be this one right here. And we need the A sound, Rowan. So there we go. Yeah, of course we know that one from Ashnazg. So there you go. There's Rowan. You know what? It's very weird that I didn't that I put it there. Oh well. You know, I don't know Illustrator that well, so I don't know all my shortcuts. So there's Rowan, and let's do Kala. Okay, so these are the ones we're doing. All right, Rowan and Kala. All right, so we've got our K. We're coming back to our K sound here. And then we've got an L, and you can see there are some double L's down here that will lengthen a consonant. You can have a long consonant in many languages. In English, we don't really do it as consciously. I mean, we do it as well. So if you had the word pen knife, that there's a long N in there, pen knife, or whatever. I don't know, but we do have a long L in Elvish, and so we'll use that one. Okay, so our normal L would be this one right here, but we're just going to add an extra little mark here to make it a long L. And then we're going to need another consonant, or sorry, another vowel at the end. So we'll take this and just finish that off so we can put a consonant at the end. And then we just need the A before the L, and then the A after the L. 1, 2, 3. 3. 1, 2, 3. All right, so there you go. There's Kala. Rowan and Kala. All right. Lovely. I like Kala's. That's a really nice one. Rowan's is cool too. But that W throws me off. I love Kala's though. Okay, there we go. Does the declination conjugations have gender like in the Latinate languages? We're not getting into translation today so much, but go check out just read fairly closely in Appendix E. Okay, so go to the back of your copy of The Lord of the Rings, go to Appendix E, and you'll get the answer to that. All right. Rowan's is Nom. I didn't catch that. Oh, yeah, it kind of is, isn't it? That's pretty funny. Okay, I hope he likes to eat. So there you go. All right. You know, we've been doing this for about a half hour now, and that was a lot of fun. Let me know if you guys have any questions about this. Just kind of wanted to show you that this is something that could be done, and it's something that you know, for people like me, it brings a little joy. For other people, they think this is really stupid, but I love this kind of stuff. I think it's it's not like I sit around writing Elvish all the time, but it's fun to dig into a book or a world that you love, the way that I love this one, and just kind of consider, how it works and how you can use it for yourself. And yeah, I love this stuff. All right, let's see. Let's put that down here. Can you capitalize letters? No need. The punctuation will take care of that for you. So no capitals, as far as I know. I could be wrong. Somebody's welcome to correct me in the comments if they like. But as far as I know, no, you don't have to worry about capitalization. I always thought it looks pretty good. I'm glad you thought it was fun. Yeah, I think it's really gorgeous. And that's exactly what he was going for. The whole idea behind Tengwar was he wanted to create a pretty alphabet. And you compare that with let's look up what's the thing I'm thinking of? Kirth is a semi-artificial script based on real-life runic alphabets. And so he used the runic alphabet, the kind of Norse runic alphabet, and based a runic alphabet of his own off of that. So it shares a ton of similarities, but it does deviate from that. And so the idea behind the Kirth was kind of similar to our runes. Oh, sorry. I forgot I hadn't blown that up. Let's just make that bigger. The idea behind runes is that they have these sharp angles. And so if you're chiseling something into rock, then you don't have to do any curves or whatever. You can just take something with a flat blade and chuck, 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 and chuck, 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 that's the idea behind runes, right? And so he did use Kirth. And so, like, if we look at this copy of The Lord of the Rings, up at the top, it's got the runic alphabet, and then at the bottom, it's got the Tengwar alphabet examples. And so, man, did this guy get carried away? Maybe, but I'm glad he did. All right, there we go. Let's see. Cool. Yeah, is there anything else that we want to do here today? I mean, I know you guys wanted Ryan to read some Chuck Tingle erotica, but I don't think we're going to do that today. Okay, there we go. By the way, you're welcome. By the way, not a real professor, but so this all started as a joke with the listeners. When I would get going on subjects like this, they would call me Professor Craig. And so I started labeling some of my YouTube videos that way, just when we didn't have any subscribers, and it was more of a joke for the longtime fans. And but people are starting to call me Professor on like in YouTube comments and stuff, and I'm like, ay. Not a real professor. So let's see. Tink tink tink. Tink, 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 tink. Yeah, that's something like that. Almost a primitive version of Chinese Asian language, except for letters and not words. I always thought that it shared that Tengwar. Let's pull that back up. I always thought that Tengwar shared a look and a feel with like Arabic. Yeah, obviously it's not the same, but the way they do the vowels. Anyway, doesn't that? Yeah, it looks a little more like Arabic to me than it does like an Asian language. I was convinced you were an actual professor for real. Yeah, no, sorry to burst your bubble. If I had worked harder in school, maybe I would be by now, but no. Okay. Good excuse to get your degree. Yeah, well, I don't have my degree. So, but you know what? What is a degree? It's a piece of paper. What does the piece of paper say? It says, you know about this subject. And I understand that there are situations where you want that piece of paper to prove that you know the subject, but But in this case, I'm happy to just know the subject, at least to some extent. All right. Let's see. Texas Blade has a suggestion. Yeah, throw it to me on Discord. Let me know what it is. I'll add it to the list or see if it's already on there. Preparation for more school. I can't begin to tell you guys how bad I am at school. I was an absolute kick-ass test taker, but I'm one of those. It's a tale as old as time. I was really good at tests, but really bad at homework and busy work and that sort of thing. Busy work, that's what we used to call it. I'm a little wiser now, but anyway. But I was really bad at buckling down and doing the day-to-day stuff. But was really good at the test. Anyway, so the idea of going back to school has some appeal to me because I love learning, but I wasn't very good at it. So anyway, all right. So what was I going to say? Good excuse to get your degree. Yeah. The other thing that keeps me from going back to school is like, what am I going to do with a degree and the kinds of things I'm interested in? Nothing. So, when did I start to dip into Tengwar? When I was 19. I was 19. I was living in France. I was a missionary at the time, and so missionaries would always stick together. You have to stay together, so you're always 2 by 2. And I was the junior companion at this point. It was very early in my mission, and I had a companion who did not work. He just refused to work. He hated me. He hated being a missionary. He hated everything, and so he would stay in the apartment. And you do 6-week shifts. So 6 weeks with somebody, and then you might do another 6 weeks with them, but never more than that. So either 6 or 12 weeks with somebody. I was with him for 6 weeks, and we did not leave the apartment except for like grocery shopping. And I was going completely crazy, and so I sat down with a French copy of The Lord of the Rings. It's actually right over here on my shelves. I still have this copy of The Lord of the Rings. Got my French copy of The Lord of the Rings and my dictionary, and I learned the crap out of French by reading The Lord of the Rings in French. And it took me a long time to do it, but I finished it and was very satisfied. But then, I needed something else to do, and so I'm going through the appendices. And I was like, oh, yeah, I remember kind of reading through Appendix E a little bit. And so I learned how to write Tengwar in French, if that makes sense. It was one of the worst and best 6 weeks of my life, because it was a whole lot of just kind of, I have nothing to do but eat Nutella with a spoon while I'm reading The Lord of the Rings. That's what I did for 6 weeks. Yeah. I don't know what that means. 2 by 2 hands of blue. It was intense. This guy. I won't tell you what his name is. Not that any of you would know him, but just because I don't know if he's still this much of a jerk, but he was. Maybe he's a changed man at this point. Who knows? But I was 19, he was 20. So I showed up at the apartment, and so we had a bedroom and then an office. And I go into the office, and the desks were arranged a certain way. And I was like, oh, okay, I guess I'll grab this desk. And I kind of turned it a certain way in the office. He comes in and sees the way that I've arranged my desk in the office, and he looked at me. It's a fun, colorful expression to say that he had murder in his eyes. But when I say that, what I mean is he looked at me very intensely, and then walked into the kitchen and came back with a steak knife and put the steak knife to my throat and said, "Change it back." And I did maybe the single stupidest thing I've ever done in my life. And I have chased a bear, I have chased a moose, I've jumped off of things and I've jumped into things, and the stupidest thing I ever did in my life was I laughed. He had a knife to my neck, told me to change the desk back, and I laughed because it was so absurd. I had no idea what was going on. I laughed at him, and realized my mistake, and I was like, all right, I'll change it. Holy smokes. And so I changed it back, and that was literally day one of our 6 weeks together. And so I knew that things weren't going to go very well. And so I pretty much just kept my head down for 6 weeks and studied stuff. So anyway. Oh, Firefly. Oh, the 2x2 Hands of Blue. I do vaguely recall this. I have watched. It was one season, as I recall, and I've watched about half of that season and enjoyed it, but wasn't. I wasn't compelled. I didn't feel compelled to finish it. And so, delightful show. I love everybody on the show. Nathan Fillion, one of the most fun people of all time to watch on screen. Morena Baccarin, one of the prettiest people ever to grace a screen. You just go on down the list, and everybody's so great. Adam Baldwin even was was fabulous in that show. Okay, let's see. So I don't know if this is about Firefly or about my mission story, but yeah, it's I got some stories. There's only half a season. Oh, did they never even finish it? Because it was, like 13 episodes, right? So, and that back in the time that it was made, that would have been half a season, I suppose. All right, guys. Let's call it there for today. I shared some stories. We looked at some Elvish. I hope it was fun. Did I miss anybody? Anybody who wanted their name done? I can give it 5 more minutes. I was talking about doing Panda. That could be fun. So yeah, but otherwise, yeah, Panda, let me know if you're still here. If you're still here, we'll do your name. If not, we'll leave it. I'm not gonna do Befuddled Panda. That's I don't know. Maybe I could. Maybe it would be fun. Yes, we did Aus. It's house without the H. Aus. And we did that a little earlier. We're aired out of order. No, I watched it. This was like 3-4 years ago, probably, that I gave it a shot. Anyway, Panda's here. Okay, well, we better do some Panda. All right. Oh, come on. Okay. Oh, come on. All right. Let's do. Panda. Okay. We come up here and get our P. And then we need the N. We'll start with our consonants first. Where'd they put our N? Right there. And then we need our D, which is right here, a double loop. And we'll need an A at the end, so we'll tack on this little thing right there. Well, we could just do, let's just do dots on this one. Panda. Simple enough. All right, there you go. Make him work more. Yeah, next week, maybe we'll get Ryan to read some hilarious erotic comedy. I think that's a great idea. Although for the first time in this channel's history, if we did that, I would have to put a little. I would have to like mark it as inappropriate for children, because it changes which advertisers will go on your channel and what rates you get and all that stuff. So anyway. Okay, cool. Yeah, we'll call it there. I was just checking your comments. I really wish. By the way, I use this streaming service to help me do these streams, and I wish they would put the comments on the other side, because now it looks like I'm looking at all your comments. But right now I have no idea because I'm looking over at my other screen. But if I look at your comments, then I end up over here. Anyway. All right. At this point, I'm just rambling. Have a fun weekend, everybody. Thanks for hanging out. I did this because Tengwar 101, I did it like 3-4 years ago, and it's the single most popular live stream that I've ever done. Like over the long term, people kept coming back to it. So I thought, you know what, let's do that again. That seems like people enjoyed that first one. So anyway, go check out Appendix E for your fun weekend plans, and I'll see you all next week.